First tonight on our news live at 7.
Following an Independence Day plane crash, an expert in the aviation industry says it's not the time to cast blame, but to focus on prevention. Stay tuned with Our News Tonight for more details.
Plus, nearly 2 weeks after a devastating fire in Baileytown, Bimini left several families displaced, the focus is now on rebuilding. We have an update. And BPL customers to see a credit to their July bills to the tune of an $8.45 rebate. Residents in the capital are weighing in. And then in our news at 7:30, a family facing back-to-back tragedies after cousins killed by gun violence within just 7 days. We have the details for these stories and so much more as our news live at 7 starts now. Welcome to our news live at 7. Thank you so much for joining us tonight. I'm Megan Shepard. As the nation continues to reel from that tragic Independence Day plane crash that killed 10 people in North Andros, an industry expert is calling for the focus to shift. The former owner of Sky Bahamas, Randy Butler, says while it's natural to point fingers and cast blame, he believes the post-investigation process is critical in preventing another tragedy. Butler telling our Joshua Williams there are important lessons to be learned.
That tragic Independence Day plane crash leaving more questions than answers. But an expert in the aviation industry tells me it's not time to cast blame, but to prevent accidents like this from happening again. It's been more than a week since one of the deadliest air accidents in the country. Flamingo Air's Cessna 402 plane that went down on Independence Day in the North Andros Pine Forest killed 10 people, including the pilot. Since then, crash investigators have confirmed the flight was preparing to land at the San Andres Airport and that aircraft was not equipped with a black box, something they say is not required for an aircraft of this size. And while many are anxiously awaiting the results of the investigation, Captain Randy Butler, a seasoned pilot and former air accident investigator, explains what that process might look like.
The investigators are usually highly qualified people, and they bring to the table the aircraft manufacturer, the engine manufacturer, and also other accredited folks like the NTSB. So you have a very qualified, and they go from the field of gathering the information to then taking the airplane to the U.S. or wherever they're going to take it and have their manufacturers, the people who make their engines, the aircraft, and other components, look and see if there was a failure of any of the system.
Butler says the incident once again reveals a wider issue.
We just need to make sure that because there's such a demand that we don't have uncertified people out there putting folks at risk. And why uncertified is because there's nobody, if you're not licensed, there's no requirement for a certification. There's nobody doing actual checks to make sure the airplane is airworthy, that the pilot is qualified, and that the process of all the things like weight and balance, recurrent flight training is being done.
When it comes to preventing similar incidents, Butler says there are lessons to learn from that 2018 crash where another plane went down in waters off of Mastic Point, Andros, killing 6.
That airplane was not an air operator certificate. That airplane had flown 129 flights in about a 3-month period. The pilot was not properly certificated was finding an instrument flight or instrument meteorological conditions, not on an instrument flight plan, and not being instrument rated.
And while getting answers is important, Butler also tells me it's vital to show compassion to the crash victims' heartbroken loved ones who've been left behind. Reporting for Our News, I'm Joshua Williams.
Thanks so much, Josh. Well, nearly 2 weeks after a devastating fire destroyed several homes on a family compound in Baileytown, Bimini, the road to recovery continues. The July 8th early morning blaze ripped through the Roll family's multi-generational property, destroying 4 homes and leaving several families displaced. Today, Our News spoke with family member Hiram Roll, who says while those affected remain in temporary accommodations, they're now waiting to see what support will come next.
I don't know what the government doing, but I know they still have them up in various hotels and apartments, Airbnbs. But I haven't heard anything different, so I guess everything is already in jail. But they already cleaned up the property. They already cleaned up the property and everything. And I guess moving forward, just waiting on them and see. I haven't seen, we got a lot of stuff for the fire already, but I haven't seen anybody came on donate or anything as yet.
With the property now cleared, the family says their focus has shifted to rebuilding. Roll says they're hoping public donations, along with the fundraising efforts already underway, will give them the help they need to start again. Several GoFundMe campaigns have been launched, while donations of food, clothing, and other essential items continue to be collected for the families.
We plan on rebuilding everything back. Let's say we're just waiting to see who's who and what is what. And so we can start moving forward. But like I said, they already cleaned up the place, the yard and everything. So I'm just waiting. I guess we're just waiting to see who's going to donate what. But I think they got a lot of donation coming, like food and clothing and stuff like that for right now.
Well, there was a happy ending to a Grand Bahama mom's frantic search for her daughter, who went missing during a trip to New Providence last week. Her mother, Rochelle Abigail Higgs, taking to social media to express relief and gratitude to those who pitched in to help find 31-year-old Renique Burrows. The Grand Bahama native went missing early last week. Her mother says she last heard from Renique Monday evening as she prepared to head home, but the messages stopped. By Thursday, Higgs filed a report at Elizabeth Estates Police Station after insisting silence is unlike her daughter. That same day, the Grand Bahama mom spoke to Our News, making an emotional plea for her daughter to return safely. The next day, her prayers were answered. In a Facebook Live on Friday, Higgs told followers that her daughter was found in good health. In that emotional post, Higgs did not detail when and where her daughter was found, saying she's just happy she was able to come home.
But I come here. My daughter's been found. I say thank you to everyone that prayed, who sent messages, who shared the flyer. She's alive. She might not be mentally well and other little things, but to God be the glory, we will deal with it. But point in cases, God came through.
Meantime, a scary situation unfolding on Soldier Road late last night as a 15-year-old girl escaped her would-be kidnappers after a brief struggle. Police say shortly after 6 p.m., a concerned mother reported that her daughter was walking along Red Sea Road when she was approached by 2 men in a red Honda Fit with white license plates. They attempted to force her into the vehicle, but the minor managed to break free. The culprits fled in an unknown direction. Police are looking closely into the matter, and if you have information that can assist, you are encouraged to contact your nearest police station. Well, Bahamas Power and Light customers are reacting to news of an $8.45 rebate credited to eligible accounts this month. But how do residents feel about it? Our Evelyn Ferguson took to the streets to find out and tells us more in this report.
A one-time rebate of $8.45 is getting mixed reactions from the residents I spoke with today.
The Bahamas Power and Light rebate comes after a settlement with the Utilities Regulation and Competition Authority and is meant to provide direct relief to residents. The credit is expected to appear on July bills for customers who were active in March. But do residents feel the credit makes a real difference?
That's ridiculous. Flat out ridiculous. That don't make sense. You know what I mean? They should be ashamed of themselves posting something like that. $8.45. I can't do nothing for nobody.
This customer says while she appreciated BPL's effort, she's not satisfied with the double-digit rebate. And here's why.
And I think isn't enough, especially when it comes down to persons losing electronics, refrigerators, air conditions, and all that good stuff. I think that's basically a slap in the face to Bahamians. But on the other hand, I really think it's a good start. So I hope that later on and moving forward, I hope that they continue and give the persons more.
Customers like Quentin Lightbourne, connecting the credit directly to the recent and frequent blackouts, he is questioning how a small refund can compensate for the inconvenience and expenses due to constant power cuts.
Not really. Not really. Not compared to all the blackouts and stuff. Because number one, you lose more than all that during the blackouts. I don't think it's fair.
Others took a different approach, saying the initiative was misdirected. This customer telling me she believes the money could have been used in more meaningful ways.
Who they playing with? But $8 plus is a joke. They might as well collect all that money together and go do some social services with that and find real deduction to do for my bill.
Still, not everyone was completely critical. Danny Wright says he truly appreciated the effort, even if the amount is small, and believes something is better than nothing.
I understand the efforts and the works that's being put in, but the give back is a good initiative. And then, like I say, something is better than nothing. So you should receive it and be blessed that it's happening. She didn't have to do it.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Evelyn Ferguson.
All right, thanks so much for that, Evelyn. $22,000 in donations for two charities from the Order of St. John, West Indies Commandery. The humanitarian organization presented $11,000 each to the Pace Foundation and the Salvation Army, with the funds raised during this investor ceremony. Pace officials say the donation will help complete the roof of its facility and create an outdoor space for the pregnant and parenting teens enrolled in its program. The Salvation Army says the contribution will help meet the growing demand for food assistance, emergency relief, shelter services, and other support for some of the country's most vulnerable residents. In news from the court, a man is behind bars accused of a fatal shooting in Foxhill last week. Prosecutors allege that 19-year-old Teravis Clare is responsible for the July 19th murder of Rashad Sullivan. Sullivan was outside a home in the Foxhill community when a gunman, alleged to be Clare, shot him dead. Clare was not required to enter a plea when he appeared before Senior Magistrate Algernon Allen Jr. Bail was denied, and he returns to court on November 19th to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers to fast-track the case to the Supreme Court. Well, we've still got more news to share tonight, but for now, meteorologist Greg Thompson is standing by in the Weather Center. Ian McKenzie is standing by in the weather.
Thanks,
Ian?
Megan, and good evening, Bahamas. Happy Monday evening, everyone. Currently outside our studios under mostly sunny skies at 87. Feels like still very warm at 95. Winds from the east-southeast at 10 miles per hour. Across the northwest Bahamas, 87 dominating. We have Freeport, Marsh Harbor, Great Harbor Key, the capital, and Alistown, Bimini all coming in at 87, 88 across Nicholstown, 86 in Governor's Harbor, Eleuthero. Central Bahamas, 87s again across Camps Bay and Arthurstown, Kidd Island, 86 across Black Point, Georgetown, Deadman's Key, and Port Nelson, Rum Key, 85 in Coburn Town, San Salvador. Southeast Bahamas, we have 84s across Duncantown, 87s in Colonel Hill, 86s again, Delectable Bay, Auckland's, Abrahams Bay, Miagwan, 85 in Providenciales, and 88 in Matthewtown and Nagua. Silent radar composite at this time, a quick overview. Surface high pressure dominating, suppressing most of the shower activity across our area, some offshore shower activity. However, further to our west, we will speak more of Tropical Depression 2 and our extended forecast straight ahead.
Coming up in sports, we talk comebacks, one that happened on the baseball field, another that's happening on the track, but not the one that didn't happen this time for Argentina on the pitch.
Hey, Greg Thompson here, and thank you for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button. And if you want to see more content like this, follow all of our news social media pages. And hey, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
The Atlantic hurricane season is here, and now is the time to get prepared. Join me, Jasmine Brown, along with meteorologist Greg Thompson for a crucial half hour that could save your life. We'll dive into everything you need to know to stay safe and informed this season, the latest predictions, storm tracking models, and essential tips. This isn't just another show, it's your lifeline to weathering the storm. Storm Navigator on RTV.
The Royal Bahamas Police Cadets registration is opening once again, and we are looking for you. You 15 through 17 years old in grades 10 or 11, have a minimum GPA of 2.5, and possess at least 5 VJCs with C's in Math and English. Then apply today. As the oldest cadet program in the Commonwealth of the Bahamas, we are dedicated to ensuring that every single cadet enlisted is equipped with life skills that will take them through adulthood. If you are interested and with your parents' permission, log on to www.royalbahamaspolice.org/cadet. Print the application and submit it to the Police Training College on University Drive. For more information, contact.
Welcome to Our Sports at 7, presented by 10th year seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. 6 months ago, there was real concern that Sebastian Walcott might miss the entire 2026 season. I mean, he's too important to the Rangers to take a risk otherwise. But, crisis averted, he's back. The Texas Rangers' top prospect returned to the Frisco Rough Riders lineup over the weekend, marking his first AA game since undergoing UCL surgery earlier this year. And in his first series back, we've seen all the tools on display: the speed, hitting for average, and hitting for power. In the debut, he went 1 for 4, scored a run, and reminded everyone that the athleticism is still there by swiping a stolen base. He followed that up Saturday night, going 2 for 4, and then last night, he homered in the first inning. Let's shift to the kids now that play the game for free in Little League. Watching that first matchup against Bonaire, you knew the Bahamas lost a game they probably should have won. You also knew that if they had an opportunity at a rematch, they'd take advantage of it. The second time around, Team Bahamas made sure the result was different, and they defeated Bonaire 11-6 to win the bronze medal at the 2026 Caribbean Series. They ended the week as one of the top 3 Little League teams in the region. Some players tend to shy away from the spotlight, but not Jazz. In fact, very few in the MLB this season have been better at embracing the moment. Chisholm hit his 14th home run of the season, but it's been the late-game theatrics that have set him apart this year and have given the Yankees offense some life. His solo shot in the 8th lifted New York to a 2-1 win over the Dodgers to split yesterday's doubleheader. Now from the Diamond, back to the Diamond League, and back to Shawnee Miller-Weibo being in the conversation with the best in the sport. She finished 3rd in the 200 at the London Diamond League in 22.24 seconds against what might be the toughest field she's faced this season. That'll do it for sports. More where that came from. We'll be back on our news at 7:30.
When our news comes back from the break, we turn our spotlight to stories making headlines across the world, as expansion of U.S. strikes on Iran leads to more retaliation across the Gulf. Plus, Andy Burnham has become Britain's 7th Prime Minister in a decade. He sets out measures to tackle the cost of living. And dozens fared dead after a passenger ferry sinks off the coast of Guyana. We have the details when our news returns.
Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team, well, from the teams you already trust. Yo, what's good, my loyal viewers? Ronaldo Dorset of 10YS here. First of all, thanks so much for watching, but be sure to hit that follow button. If you'd like to see more content like this, follow all of the R News social media pages, and of course, don't forget to turn on your notifications so you never miss out on the top stories from the team.
This is Our News. Welcome back. We turn our attention now to stories making headlines across the world. States bombarded Iran again on Monday after announcing the death of another American service member, and Iran retaliated with attacks on American allies Kuwait and Bahrain, home of the U.S. Navy's Fifth Fleet. The interim deal signed last month that was meant to end the fighting has crumbled. Shipping through the Strait of Hormuz has largely stalled, and as fighting intensifies, both sides have targeted civilian infrastructure relied on by millions of people. The escalation has pushed oil prices higher in recent weeks. Benchmark Brent crude traded Monday above $86 a barrel. Andy Burnham has become Britain's seventh Prime Minister in a decade, succeeding Keir Starmer, who quit 2 years after leading the Labour Party to a large parliamentary majority. Burnham was elected leader of Britain's Labour Party unopposed on Friday. Starmer made a short farewell speech before formally tendering his resignation to King Charles, who then invited Burnham to be Prime Minister. In his Downing Street address, Burnham pledged a new model of government and said he would set out measures to tackle the cost of living. Dozens of people were found dead after a ferry carrying 133 people capsized off the coast of Guyana late on Saturday, with authorities suggesting an inaccurate passenger list and drug use by the crew might have contributed to the situation. No survivors have been found since Sunday afternoon, when Guyanese authorities announced they had rescued 67 people, including 15 children. At least two people have died, and dozens are still missing. The MV Barima, which had 116 passengers and 17 crew members, capsized approximately 7 miles from shore. Guyana's Public Works Minister confirming on Sunday the captain and other crew members are now in police custody. And Florida shoppers can purchase a range of back-to-school essentials without paying state sales tax, as the state's 2026 back-to-school sales tax holiday begins today and runs through Thursday, August 20th. Eligible technology items include desktops, laptops, tablets, electronic book readers, calculators, and tower computers. The exemption does not apply to items such as cell phones, video game consoles, or devices primarily designed for entertainment. Families can also purchase school supplies priced at $50 or less per item without sales tax. Eligible items include notebooks, pencils, folders, scissors, lunchboxes, construction paper, and other classroom essentials. The holiday also covers clothing, footwear, and accessories priced at $100 or less per item. On the other side of this break, a night of family fun, food, drinks, and dancing. Gumbe Summer Festival returns to Grand Bahama, and we've got the highlights. And then in our news at 7:30, Cable Bahamas Limited is asking a U.S. federal court in South Florida to throw out a major copyright infringement. We'll tell you why when our news continues.
The Atlantic hurricane season is here, and now is the time to get prepared. Join me, Jasmine Brown, along with meteorologist Greg Thompson for a crucial half hour that could save your life. We'll dive into everything you need to know to stay safe and informed this season, the latest predictions, storm tracking models, and essential tips. This isn't just another show, it's your lifeline to weathering the storm. Storm Navigator on RTV.
Every year, car theft in the Bahamas rises. Thieves are getting smarter and faster. Is your car a target? Compact vehicles are at risk. Don't become a victim. Simple steps can make all the difference. Lock your car. Invest in anti-theft devices. Park smart. Protect yourself. Stay alert. I am PC 4392 Trayshawn Ferguson. Stay vigilant. report suspicious activity, and let's create safer communities together. Learn more by visiting the Royal Bahamas Police Force.
Goombay Summer Festival returned to Taino Beach on Grand Bahama. The annual festival drew crowds to enjoy authentic Bahamian food, live music, and cultural performances. Tourism Minister Glenys Hannah Martin described the event as a celebration of Bahamian creativity, and her first walk through of the grounds captured exactly what makes Goombay unique.
As I was entering the grounds, I began to familiarize myself with the various stalls and booths along the way. And that in itself was an incredible experience. The creativity, the mix, the Bahamian hands behind everything was just such a rewarding experience.
And attendees couldn't help but to join in the celebrations. From dancing to the beat to friends enjoying refreshing drinks and local flavors, the atmosphere was electric, a true showcase of Bahamian spirit. For Lyndon Lundy and Janet Maycock, it was a night they say captured the essence of Goombay, the kind of experience that made a lasting impression.
They're my great grands right there. Okay? Yes. And we love the Bahamas. We love it. And I'm a Bahamian, so I can always be rocking. Hey!
I'm here now at Goombay, and it's going wild, man. It's great. The drinks are refreshing, the crowd is jumping, and the food is tasty. Listen, guys, if you're in here, you can need to be here next year.
And by next year, he means next Thursday. Goombay happens every Thursday right there on Taino Beach. Plus, the countdown is on for one of Grand Bahama's biggest summer celebrations. The annual Sea Fest is returning to High Rock, and this year marks a major milestone as the event celebrates its 20th anniversary. The festivities get underway on Saturday, July 25th, beginning at 11 a.m. with a full day of culture, entertainment, local cuisine, and family-friendly activities. Public Relations Officer Leanan Lang says this year's celebration promises something for everyone.
We have some exciting things going on this year. Our headliner is the famous Johnny Cake. As everyone knows, he's hitting the airwaves with his new songs. And so we want to encourage the family to come out and enjoy all of the seafood that we have to offer, all of the boats. We're going to have jet ski races. We're going to have speedboats out there. And so we're going to have delicious food from the conch salad to the fried fish and the lobster. And so again, we're just grateful for 20 years, and we want to encourage the community to continue to support us.
The Ministry of Tourism is once again partnering with event organizers to help make the celebration a success. Coordinator for the Ministry of Tourism in Grand Bahama, Wendell Saunders, is encouraging both residents and visitors to arrive early and experience all that Sea Fest has to offer.
Excited to support this initiative once again that celebrates culture, heritage, and the community of High Rock, while creating meaningful experiences for our locals and our visitors alike, and also an opportunity for the community to boost their economy. Once again, the Ministry of Tourism will be providing round-trip transportation for our visitors from the various hotels in the Freeport area. So we invite our visitors and our locals alike to come out.
Well, to watch any of today's top stories, be sure to visit ournews.bs or join the conversation at Our News Bahamas on your favorite social media platform. That's going to do it for our news at 7. I'm Megan Shepherd, handing it over to our Jerome Sawyer for the latest headlines. Jerome, another Monday, another opportunity for Ask Me to go home.
Listen, I just want to say that with all the happenings going on from Grand Bahama and the talk of visitors, I want to be that visitor to Grand Bahama.
Same.
So I'm gonna
have to work that out.
What?
We're gonna have to work out a schedule for us to go
I'm
back
putting in
and
a
forth.
plug for me to go to Grand Bahama. You all stay in Nassau. All right, thanks a lot, Megan. Well, moving ahead now, some shocking revelations about a man on bail during a murder arraignment today. Here's a look at your latest headlines. Ahead tonight on Our News Live at 7:30.
You know, when you've lost two loved ones in the space of a week.
Back-to-back tragedies. One family's tragic loss over the course of a week. Then prosecutors say a murder accused missed 81 court-ordered check-ins while out on bail. The shocking details in court today. Tensions increase as the war of words intensifies between the taxi union and the livery drivers union, as the head of the livery drivers say the taxi union's claims about conditions at the airport just don't add up. And later, giving our parks the care they need. Montague Beach gets a refresh by the Beaches and Parks Authority. It's the latest effort in their planned park cleanup. Our news live at 7:30 starts in a moment.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button if you'd like to see more content like this. Follow all of the Our News social media pages so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
I'm very excited and I can't believe it. It's it's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Kansas is a great house to play, even down to the staff is perfect. They're going to marvel.
The Paint Place Independence. It's that time again. Yeah, sun so bright. We got the colors for you to paint it right. We got the things that you need, you know, to paint the work of your dreams. Let's go. On the God one, people, yeah, we are equal. 24 senses, so I without faith.
The Atlantic hurricane season is here, and now is the time to get prepared. Join me, Jasmine Brown, along with meteorologist Greg Thompson for a crucial half hour that could save your life. We'll dive into everything you need to know to stay safe and
Welcome to our news and thank you so much for joining us. I'm Jerome Sawyer in for Talia Hall tonight. Our lead story focuses on one family's unthinkable tragedy, losing two loved ones to gun violence in just 7 days. The latest victim, a 47-year-old man gunned down over the weekend, coming just 1 week after his nephew was also shot and killed on Independence Day. Our Delvado Emmanuel caught up with the grieving family members today.
A family already in mourning after losing a loved one on Independence Day is once again facing heartbreak after another loved one was gunned down just 1 week later.
The Miller family is once again preparing to say goodbye after losing two relatives to gun violence in the space of just 1 week. Over the weekend, 47-year-old Omar Miller Sr. was shot and killed outside of his Ferguson Street residence.
Police say Miller was sitting inside a vehicle on Saturday when a white SUV pulled up and a gunman opened fire, shooting him multiple times before speeding away. Miller was no stranger to police. In September 2023, the Royal Bahamas Police Force issued a wanted flyer in connection with a murder investigation. However, police have not indicated whether the previous investigation has any connection to his killing. While at the morgue today, I spoke with an aunt of both victims, who asked not to appear on camera. She says despite his past, her family chooses to remember the man they knew.
Omar was a very quiet, kind of reserved person. So if he was your friend, he was your friend. If he wasn't for you, then you won't find him hanging around. But, around the family, very quiet, like to crack jokes.
Following his death, relatives say they are now left trying to understand why their family has been hit by tragedy twice in such a short time. As just days ago, they lost another member of the family, Delano Miller, who was also gunned down on Independence Day. They describe both losses as devastating, saying they are leaning on their faith and the support of the community to help them through the difficult days ahead.
It is overwhelming, when you've lost two loved ones in the space of a week. It's overwhelming. And so we want them to continue to just pray for us, pray for us and pray for our country. because definitely something has gone wrong. We've gone away from morals, we've gone away from being our brother's keeper.
As they continue to grapple with back-to-back losses, they believe far too many families are being torn apart by gun violence and are urging those responsible to choose a different path.
I would say turn yourselves in. I would also say that, vengeance is God's. And so at the end of the day, put down the guns. Let's go back to the time when, we could sit and talk about it.
Reporting for Our News, I'm Delvaro Emmanuel.
Over a week later, and tributes continuing to pour in for victims of that Independence Day crash in North Andros. 10 people died in that crash, including 5 members of Dapon Band and a popular DJ. Since that tragic day, we've heard from singers and other entertainers, but perhaps none as close to the group as an artist known as Zaria Zeta Energy. She shared the stage with the group countless times.
Oh, man. I have grown with the Pawn Band about 3 years now. Before they was formally, as the Pawn Band, I know each of them individually, but it has been fun times together. It has been some amazing times. I will have some amazing memories to think back on.
An emotional vigil held last week on the pond at Fire Trail Road, where hundreds came out to show support and give tributes. And with such a large section of the band gone, it's easy to throw in the towel. But Zaria tells us that those left behind will do what they can to carry on their legacy.
We're just going to keep doing what we got to do. It could take some time. There is no timeline on grief, but it would take some time to get back in the groove. It would take time to recover, but we're going to continue this journey, continue this legacy, because I know for sure that's what the Geo would want. I know for sure that's what Teo would want, Travis would want, Shad would want. They would want us to keep going.
The war of words between the Bahamas Taxi Cab Union and the Bahamas Livery Drivers Union showing no signs of cooling down anytime soon. Now, the Livery Drivers Union president is pushing back against accusations of unfair treatment of taxi drivers at the Lynden Pinling International Airport. Our Chanasa Outen picks up the story from here.
The back and forth between the two unions continues, with Bahamas Livery Driver Union President Tori Austin dismissing the claims made by Taxi Cab Union President Tyrone Butler, saying the complaints are more about seeking attention than finding solutions.
What I do not want to do is go back and forth with Tyrone, who seems to want to seek some attention or whatever and make this rivalry. He's deemed us public enemy number 1.
Austin says multiple meetings have been held with stakeholders in an effort to ease tensions and find a common ground, but he claims that those efforts have been rejected.
We were sitting at the table saying that we can come together and come to a common ground to work together. And we are all for that. We are still all for that. Tyrone himself has said he does not want that.
Austin also rejected claims that livery drivers are cutting into taxi drivers' business at the airport. He argues the members tell a different story, saying there is just one livery driver for every 25 taxi drivers, making it unlikely that his union's 6-vehicle fleet could have a major impact. He went on to say what taxi drivers are experiencing is a result of a more competitive market, not livery drivers taking their customers.
So what the government has done, right, is where they, I would say, increase the market of taxis in this country, right? They are now feeling the pinch. But you can't blame us and say, we stayed in your jobs. We acting as normal. A $30 taxi job cannot maintain a real luxury livery car. So this nonsense about stealing, there's a bunch of crying from Tyrone that he wants his actions and all this other stuff and to try to appease his members, I guess.
For now, passengers remain caught in the middle of a growing standoff, and with both sides digging in, the dispute shows no signs of ending anytime soon. Reporting for Our News, I'm Chanasa Outen.
Shocking testimony at a murder-accused murder arraignment today. The man accused of killing the key witness in his upcoming armed robbery trial was not complying with his bail conditions. Prosecutors say 39-year-old Adnan Oliver allegedly missed 81 court-ordered check-ins at a police station before he allegedly murdered James McPhee on July 12. Oliver allegedly killed McPhee 1 month before he was set to stand trial in the Supreme Court for robbing McPhee of a $70,000 Rolex watch in September of 2019. Oliver allegedly chopped McPhee about the body and ran him over with a car off Spikenard Road. Chief Superintendent Harris Cash and Superintendent Elvis Miller allegedly witnessed the hit and run and pursued Oliver, who allegedly opened fire at the officers. Oliver was allegedly found with a 9mm pistol and 5 rounds of ammunition. He was not required to enter a plea or pleas to murder and attempted murder and the firearm charges, and was also denied bail. He returns to court on October 30th to receive voluntary bill of indictment papers, fast-tracking that case to the Supreme Court. Oliver denied violating his bail conditions, and his trial is now set for August 11th. Time now for your first look at temperatures on the outside. Meteorologist Ian McKenzie standing by in the Weather Center tonight. Ian?
Thanks, Jerome, and good evening, Bahamas. Currently outside our studios, we're under mostly clear skies and very warm at 87. Feels like even worse at 94. Those winds are from the east-southeast at 10 miles per hour. Taking a look now at our satellite and radar composite across the Bahamas, we are looking at just ridging high pressure dominating. No shower activity in sight. Some offshore showers mainly to the north of our area. Further west, we are continuing to monitor Tropical Depression 2, which is expected to become Tropical Storm Bertha later tonight or possibly into early tomorrow. Stick around, we'll tell you more about this straight ahead.
And still to come on our news tonight, Cable Bahamas moves to have a copyright infringement lawsuit from PBS thrown out in a U.S. federal court in South Florida, challenging the court's jurisdiction. And later,
that's the overall health of our public spaces matter.
The Montague foreshore gets a refresh courtesy of the Beaches and Parks Authority. That's coming up when our news returns.
Embrace technology and the digital transformation for better business results. For small business owners, it's essential to understand how technology can affect operational efficiencies. Modern communication relies on technology, and your customer service depends on communication. With proper tools like our fixed and mobile services, we help you stay connected. For solutions that work, ask the experts. Call Cable Bahamas Business Solutions.
Danielle here. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that subscribe button. And if you want to see more great content, be sure to hit that notification button and follow the team you already trust.
It only takes a second for things to go wrong. Are you prepared? Don't become a statistic. Follow these simple rules. Leave early, obey road signs, wear seatbelts, invest in hands-free devices, and don't drink and drive. I'm Inspector Gerard Cum of the Royal Bahamas Police Force, reminding you that road safety is no accident.
From 2017, one show has set the standard for current affairs in
Cable Bahamas Limited is asking a U.S. federal court in South Florida to throw out a major copyright infringement lawsuit brought by the Public Broadcasting Service, or PBS, arguing the claims are legally flawed and should instead be heard in the Bahamas. The communications provider has filed court documents challenging both the substance of the case and the Florida court's authority to hear it. Jamila Missick reports.
Cable Bahamas Limited says PBS and its co-plaintiff, WGBH Educational Foundation, do not have legal standing to pursue the majority of their copyright claims because they allegedly own the rights to only a fraction of the programming cited in the lawsuit. In court filings dated July 17th, the company says PBS claims more than 3,300 programs were retransmitted without permission, but copyright records show PBS or WGBH own the rights to only about 706 of those works. Cable Bahamas is also challenging the Florida court's jurisdiction, arguing it has no offices, employees, property, or business operations in Florida. The company says the dispute involves a Bahamian provider, Bahamian Broadcast, and Bahamian customers, making the Supreme Court of the Bahamas the proper venue. In an affidavit, President and CEO Franklin Butler denied claims that Cable Bahamas captured PBS broadcasts from Florida. He says the programming, including Sesame Street, Wild Kratts, Frontline, and Antiques Roadshow, was provided under a commercial licensing agreement. Butler also says neither Cable Bahamas nor its subsidiary Caribbean Crossings ever captured or retransmitted PBS programming from Florida, adding that the content was broadcast only within the Bahamas. The company says it voluntarily stopped airing the disputed programming while settlement discussions were underway, but says that was not an admission of wrongdoing. PBS filed the lawsuit earlier this year, accusing Cable Bahamas of retransmitting its programming without authorization between 2019 and 2025 and seeking significant copyright and trademark damages. Cable Bahamas denies the allegations, calling them unsupported and inconsistent, and is asking the Florida court to dismiss the case or allow it to proceed in the Bahamas instead. The South Florida Federal Court must now decide whether it has jurisdiction over the case. No ruling has been made on Cable Bahamas' request to dismiss the lawsuit. Reporting for Our News, I'm Jamila Missick.
Power outages continue to frustrate residents in the capital and on several family islands, especially as the summer temperatures soar for weeks. Communities across New Providence have faced long, unpredictable blackouts. The issue has now drawn political attention. This as Golden Gates Member of Parliament Pia Glover-Roll recently revealed that she spent the night with constituents as they endured hours without electricity. She also says she wrote to Bahamas Power and Light demanding a full explanation of the outages. Now, government officials maintain the outages are the result of critical upgrades at the Bahamas Power and Light structure to strengthen the country's electrical grid. Energy and Utilities Minister JoBeth Colby Davis telling reporters recently the disruptions could continue through the end of August as the work continues. Well, during a recent monthly sit-down interview with our Italia Hall Thomas, RF Bank and Trust Vice President and Group Head of Investment David Slatter shared his perspective on the ongoing power crisis. He says a stable and reliable electricity supply is essential in the country, while offering ideas to help address the recurring outages.
Additional burden on individuals and businesses to have a generator in place to deal with periods when the grid is down is a problem. And, you know, how do we deal with that? That's not an easy thing to deal with, right? I mean, you're dealing with aging, in many cases, aging generators that need to be replaced. That's an expensive prospect. It takes time to have them constructed and brought here. Whether or not they bring in mobile or temporary generators like was done in the past to help meet with peak demand is one solution. There's also the need to get the grid to a position where it can take energy safely from private producers who have solar panels. That's an issue right now. So, you know, if everybody's rooftop could be turned into a generator of electricity that could be fed into the grid safely, that would help. But there's work that needs to be done to make that a possibility. So that's one way, and I think that would perhaps be the quickest solution to help ease increase the amount of electricity available and reduce the likelihood of power outages.
Coming up in sports, after a few months, Sebas Walcott is back on the field in the games that count, and it's just like he never left. Highlights are coming every night. Then a bronze medal for our Little Leaguers, and Shawnee is back at it in the Diamond League.
People today that have a heart attack and need to have a vessel open can essentially leave the hospital sometimes in 24 hours and sometimes even on the same day. This is unheard of.
We can actually treat our patients right here locally in the Bahamas where they don't need to travel abroad for care.
In terms of cardiac cath cases, from 1996 to now, we've done well over 3,000.
This is why we're here at Doctors Hospital. State-of-the-art care for these common conditions that we deal with on an everyday basis.
A person should see a specialist for heart palpitations or dizziness, breathlessness, if they're fainting, or they've had a loss in their family related to heart disease.
Advanced cardiovascular care right here at Doctors Hospital.
At Doctors Hospital, we take care of you and all matters of the heart.
I was just telling my friend I wish I could get my Our News updates sent to my phone, like a WhatsApp message or something, you know?
Haven't you heard?
Well, who say that?
It's me, Jerome, your news godfather, and I'm here to update your life.
Well, how do you plan to update my life exactly? Because I don't think I'm understanding. Care to elaborate?
Our News has launched its broadcast channel, so now most important updates come straight to your WhatsApp.
Dad, so you tell me that I have access to real-time updates and news at 7:30?
Yes, you get it first and direct.
Welcome to Our Sport, presented by 10th Year Seniors. I'm Ronaldo Dorset. Let's do show. 6 months ago, there was real concern that Sebastian Walcott might miss the entire 2026 season. I mean, he's too important to the Rangers to take a risk otherwise. But, crisis averted, he's back. The Texas Rangers' top prospect returned to the Frisco Rough Riders lineup over the weekend, marking his first AA game since undergoing UCL surgery earlier this year. And in his first series back, we've seen all the tools on display: the speed, hitting for average, and hitting for power. In the debut, he went 1 for 4, scored a run, and reminded everyone that the athleticism is still there by swiping a stolen base. He followed that up Saturday night, going 2 for 4, and then last night, he homered in the first inning. Even before rejoining Frisco, the signs were positive. On rehab assignment in the ACL, he doubled in his first game back. It's been a long road. The trouble started last October in the Arizona Fall League, where Walcott suffered a right elbow flexor strain after just one game. What was initially thought to be a short-term setback eventually led to surgery during spring training and months of rehab. But that appears to all be over now, and the countdown to his eventual call-up to the show can get going once again. Let's shift to the kids now that play the game for free in Little League. Watching that first matchup against Bonaire, you knew the Bahamas lost a game they probably should have won. You also knew that if they had an opportunity at a rematch, they'd take advantage of it. The second time around, Team Bahamas made sure the result was different, and they defeated Bonaire 11-6 to win the bronze medal at the 2026 Caribbean Series. They ended the week as one of the top 3 Little League teams in the region. With the trip to the Little League World Series on the line, the Bahamas finished the tournament with a 5-2 record overall, 4-1 in round-robin play, before ultimately losing to the Dominican Republic in the semifinals. Maybe they didn't punch the ticket to Williamsport this year, but this team proved once again that Bahamas baseball belongs in the conversation with the best youth programs in the region. Also, that this group is probably one you need to keep an eye on. Some players tend to shy away from the spotlight, but not Jazz. In fact, very few in the MLB this season have been better at embracing the moment. Chisholm hit his 14th home run of the season, but it's been the late-game theatrics that have set him apart this year and have given the Yankees offense some life. His solo shot in the 8th lifted New York to a 2-1 win over the Dodgers to split yesterday's doubleheader. It was the 6th game-tying or go-ahead homer of the season in a clutch moment like this in the 8th inning or later. At 55-42, the Yankees are now just a game behind Tampa in the race for the AL East. Now from the Diamond, back to the Diamond League, and back to Shaunae Miller-Weibo being in the conversation with the best in the sport. She finished 3rd in the 200 at the London Diamond League in 22.24 seconds against what might be the toughest field she's faced this season. Julian Alford ran a meet record 21.66, and reigning world champion Gabby Thomas was 2nd in 21.81. More importantly, it's another sign that Shaunae's comeback season continues to gain momentum. That'll do it for our sports. This is 10YS, and we're all gonna miss the World Cup, right? Whether you like the ending or not. The important thing is that we get to argue about it for 4 years and then pretend to be experts in 2030.
And still ahead tonight, another day of scorching heat of the summer. Ian is back with your complete weather forecast. And then the Montague Foreshore area gets a refresh by the Beaches and Parks Authority. It's the latest stop in a nationwide planned park cleanup program. That's coming up when our news returns.
Hey guys, Megan Shepherd here. Thank you so much for watching. Be sure to hit that follow button if you'd like to see more content like this. Follow all of the Our News social media pages so you never miss out on the top stories from the team you already trust.
I'm very excited and I can't believe it. It's it's a dream come true. When she did call me yesterday about it, I didn't know what to believe. Thanks to Mr. Coleman and this whole staff for what they do and making sure the customers are taken care of, making sure we enjoy the gaming they do give to us. Chances is the great house to play, even down to the staff, is perfect. You're going to marvel.
The Paint Place Independence. It's that time again. Yeah, sun so bright. We got the colors for you to paint it right. We got the things that you need, you know, to paint the work of your dreams. Let's go. On the God one, people, yeah, we are equal. 21 senses, so high without faith.
The Atlantic hurricane season is here, and now is the time to get prepared. Join me, Jasmine Brown, along with meteorologist Greg Thompson for a crucial half hour that could save your life. We'll dive into everything you need to know to save.
Welcome back, everyone. This is our news extended weather forecast and also looking at the tropics across our area, which is the Bahamas. We are experiencing high pressure that will continue to dominate weather conditions. However, moving further to the west, we are continuing to monitor tropical depression number 2, which is expected to develop into tropical storm Bertha later tonight or possibly early tomorrow. This system, however, is facing some extremely hostile environmental conditions. We have a high pressure system to its right and one also to its left, which is slowing its movement. It's only moving at about 3 miles per hour towards the northwest, and ahead of it, it's still facing some vertical wind shear. That's wind changing in direction with height, so that will continue to suppress any type of major development. Taking a look now at our boating forecast across the northwest and central islands. Those winds will be east to southeast 10 to 15 knot seas running 2 to 4 feet. High tide at 1:44 a.m. tomorrow morning. Low tide at 8:04 a.m. tomorrow morning. Southeast Bahamas winds are a tad bit stronger still. We still have a caution in place for you boaters and a moderate to high risk of rip currents. For you swimmers, winds will be easterly 15 to 20 knot seas running 4 to 7 feet over the ocean. Here's a look now at your national forecast. In your extended forecast, we do anticipate some possible late night shower activity. However, there is a mid to upper level disturbance expected to clip our area late Thursday into Friday, which will bring some more shower activity. Some say much needed because of all the dry conditions we have been experiencing of late. That shower activity should persist into the weekend and gradually clearing out late weekend into early next week. So until that time, folks, continue to stay hydrated. Those high temperatures still in the low to mid 90s, with your overnight low temperatures only creeping up into the upper 70s, low 80s. Stay hydrated, folks. That's a wrap in the evening forecast. Make it a great, safe, fun night, everyone.
Thanks a lot, Ian. Some great advice there. Those temperatures are steaming on the outside, so hydration is definitely your best defense. Well, if you've driven along East Bay Street over the past few days near the Montague Foreshore area, you may have noticed some improvements. Just recently, the Bahamas Public Parks and Public Beaches Authority launched a new cleanup and restoration campaign at the Montague Foreshore. The authority's executive chairman, Jamal Strawn, says it's a part of a wider campaign to beautify beaches across the island. That campaign kicked off earlier this month at Goodman's Bay, where crews upgraded the foreshore and parking lot there, laying the groundwork for the next phase.
Cleanliness matters, and of course, just the overall health of our public spaces matter. So you would have seen the beginning happening at Goodman's Bay, where we gave some much needed attention to the foreshore, to the park, and also securing off the parking lot. And now we see a continuation now to Montague Beach, where we'll give that same much needed care to it. We're going to move straight down Montague Beach onto the Montague Foreshore, where a number of patrons normally sit and relax and just take in the scenery.
Now, looking ahead, Strawn says the restoration plan will cover more parks and beaches. He says the goal is to upgrade these areas while insisting it's a shared responsibility to protect and maintain these public areas.
I'm going to start with 5 parks per quarter. Now, we're going to continue to move on to the most trafficked and most utilized public spaces, because that's where Bahamians see the most immediate need. So we're going to tend to those spaces first, get them up to usable standard, beautify them, upgrade them, enhance them, and then we'll continue moving interior into the island.
All right, that's going to do it for tonight's broadcast. Thank you again for joining us here on Our News Tonight. On behalf of the entire team, I'm Jerome Sawyer. We'll see you right back here tomorrow night. Until then, have yourself a wonderful evening.